Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Gene Curl, and today I'll be reading from my mission journal that I kept while I was missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I'm just going to start off where I left off on my last episode. Saturday the 16th of October 2004, mostly clear, but there was a couple of very light showers. We visited a few people and then had lunch with the Elders Quorum after their service project. We then went to the C family's farm to help them and to the N family to pick macadamia nuts. We saw a few less active people at dinner. Less active people, ate dinner at McDonald's, and then went to Brian's house. He is a less active returned missionary who started smoking and drinking after his wife left him. Earlier today we stopped by and he told us that if we come by in 1900 we could watch a new restoration video with him and Stephanie, his less active neighbor. When we got there he was nowhere to be found. Stephanie told us that he left to see the Ironman triathlon with a young lady. We were all upset with Brian. After a few minutes Bishop A came and we invited him earlier today and we watched a DVD with Stephanie. We invited her to church and I hope that she comes. Sunday the 17th of October 2004. Clear, hot, light wind, very light rain, all about midday. Elder D and I had to talk in sacrament meeting this morning because today was Missionary Sunday. I talked about 2 minutes less than what I was given, and Elder D talked about 8 minutes more than what he was given. I prepared for my talk, and Elder D just winged his, but he didn't do all that bad. After sacrament meeting, everyone came up to us and told us that we gave good talks. We were supposed to set up times to have the young men go with us because it is required to earn their Duty to God awards. But when we tried, it was like pulling teeth. Ammon P. gave us what was perhaps the worst excuse that I have ever heard for not going with us. He said, I am busy during the week and I can't go on Sunday because I am supposed to keep the Sabbath day holy. I told him that the man that is a good excuse is seldom good for anything else. How could you make better use of Sunday than trying to bring people into Christ? Around 1400 we met Brother S., the second counselor in the bishopric, at his house, and went with him down to Millillee to visit inactive members. The whole way down, he was telling us about his truck and why diesel is better than gas, and why standard is better than automatic, which I already knew. After we got back, Brother S.'s house, Elder D and I went and had dinner with the A family. After dinner, we went to see Jose and the Japanese girls, and they were all in a party mode, but I was able to talk about the church stuff a little bit. Monday the 18th of October 2004, clear, hot, light wind. I have always wondered why we park on driveways and drive on parkways. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Anyhow, we had to take the truck in for service this morning at around 7:30 because the four-wheel drive high does not work. When we dropped the truck off, we walked to Walmart to meet Elder P and Elder M. They had already eaten, but we had them take us to Burger King so we could get some breakfast. We then sat at their pad and wrote letters to Mom, and I wrote letters to Mom, Kayleen F., to President Clark, to Rod, and to Kevin and Joe and Chad. Around noon, they took us to pick up our truck. Neither Elder D or Elder P wanted to ride with Elder M, so they had him ride with me in the truck. When we got to the bowling alley, I paid for Elder M. I have spent so much money on that Samoan, and he ain't even grateful, and always asks us if I owe it to him. Elder D and I had dinner with the C family, and they had some less active members over at their house, one of which was a French man who was kind of crazy. After dinner, we went to talk to Brian, but he was not home, so we talked to Stephanie. We could not go in the house because there was no mail there, so we just sat on the front steps. She had a lot of questions for us, and we talked to her for about an hour and got home right at 2100. I perhaps should not let it bother me, but it really irritates me when Elder is constantly talking about girls and talking about making out with girls, touching girls, etc. I also get irritated when every time there is a girl who is even slightly cute, they say that we drive by and say that we drive by, "Hello, I'd take you home with me any day," or "She is so hot, I'd like to make out with her," etc. First of all, we are not out here to think about girls, but rather to save souls. Second, women and girls are to be respected in word and thought and deed, and are not to be treated or thought of as play toys in any way, shape, or form. My current companion is constantly talking about girls, and I think that it might be all that he thinks about. One of the many things that I don't like about this society is that they have their old-fashioned values. They have lost their old-fashioned values. Whatever happened to the home where the father is the breadwinner, loves and respects his wife, opens the door for her, etc., talks highly of her, shows that he loves her, loves and helps the children, etc. The mother stays home, and the number one concern is her husband and her children, where the children love and respect and obey their parents. I think that children should always respect their parents. I may be old-fashioned, but I think that guys should open the doors for girls and let them go first, pay for the girl on a date, etc. The only thing that I can do to change anything is to keep living the way that I know is right and raise my children to do the same. I hope and pray that because of me and my family that everyone will come to trust and respect the Curl name. Tuesday, the 19th of October 2004. Clear, warm, light wind. After week plan, we went to McDonald's to buy lunch, but we ate it at the pad. On the way back to the pad, we checked the mail. I had 2 letters or envelopes in the mail, one from my Aunt Rhonda and one from Mom. When I opened the letter from my mother, there was a picture of my sister Joan and a really cute girl named Dawn. At first I was like, who in the Sam is Dawn? Upon further investigation, I found out there was a letter from Dawn in the envelope. It was folded in a really cool way. In the letter, she explained that she is a friend of my sister and my family. Told her lots of good things about me, and she decided to write. She asked me to write her back, and I most definitely will. Who knows? She might be the one that Heavenly Father wants me to get married to someday. I was completely surprised to get a letter from a nice girl that I don't know, but I am cool with it. We met Carlton at the church and watched a Sunday morning session of conference with him. When we heard what President Hinckley said, he said, "Wow, that's heavy." We tried to see a lot of people and caught a few people home. We had dinner at the C family's house. For the dinner message, I shared about faith and used a coconut that I found in the road today as an object lesson. Wednesday, the 20th of October 2004. Clear, hot, light wind. We went to district meeting, and that's about all I will say about it, except that I don't like district meeting, never have and never will. We had lunch at the pad. We were not able to teach anyone today. I had to call Elder M to ask for permission to rotate the tires on our truck, and the first thing that he said was, "Surely you don't have a car problems all the way out there," because while in Waialemu, I called him every few weeks for car problems to get permission to get the fix. Elder M gave me permission to rotate the tires on a truck by myself. We picked up Brother H at his house just before 1600 and met Brother N at the church about 1600. Elder D went with Brother N, and I and Brother H went with me. We visited a lot of inactive people that I don't know their names. Then we tried to see Brian, but he was not home, so we talked to his non-member roommate Jimmy for a little while. We talked to Melindo, and then we went back to church. I met Carlton. Carlton was supposed to meet us there at 18:30, but he never showed up. We waited for him until it was time to meet the others at the in-house, and we waited for Carlton. I talked to Brother Debbie about Don. Finally, I called Carlton, and he said that he could not come because he was not feeling good. So we went to the N family's house, met Brother N and Elder D there, and ate dinner. After dinner, we dropped Brother H off at his house and then went home. I probably should not be, but I have been thinking a lot about Dawn ever since I read her letter. I can't help but wonder what will happen when I return home from my mission. I'm excited to write her back, and hopefully I'll get a few more letters from her before my mission is through. She obviously wants to go out with me, or she would not have written me, sent her picture, or asked me to write her back, and said that she'll see me when I get home. I will give it a whirl and see where it goes. Thursday, the 21st of October, 2004. Clear, hot, light wind. This morning at around 8, we went to help Brother K cut trees and feed them through the chipper. Well, actually, Brother K did all the cutting, which really irritated me because I did not come to watch someone else work. I came to work. But anyhow, after the trees were cut, Elder D and I fed them through the chipper. About 11:30, we came back to the pad to clean up and eat lunch. I don't think they wanted us to use a chainsaw because I don't know if missionaries were allowed to use chainsaws. So we were supposed to teach Tui down in Melody, but when I called to confirm, he told us that he had to cancel, so instead we visited other people. We didn't have dinner because the C family canceled, so we went to McDonald's. Sister C works at McDonald's as a manager, so when we went in to eat, she gave us our food for free. After dinner, we met Kyle at the church and taught him the second discussion from the new discussion, which is almost the old fourth discussion. The discussion went very well, and the Spirit was present. I definitely like the new way better. Kyle told us that he does not know if he can come to church because his parents are against him coming to the Mormon church. At the end of the discussion, Kyle said the prayer, and I think that it was the best prayer that I have ever heard an investigator give. He prayed properly, and he asked Heavenly Father to please work out a way for him to be able to come to church. He also asked to know if what we shared with him is true. We visited all the Japanese girls that we're trying to teach so that Elder D could have them write in his book and so that he could take pictures with them. Friday, the 22nd of October, 2004. Mostly clear, hot, light wind. Last night, Brother H called to ask if we could jump his car, so this morning we stopped by at around 9. After checking out his van, I figured out that the battery is good, but that the alternator was not charging. I told him that I would fix it for him if President would let me. We went back to the pad, and I called President Hawkins and asked if I could fix our Ward Mission Leader's van, and he said that I could, if I did it in the morning hours. After I talked to President, I called Napa to price the alternator. We borrowed some tools from the K family and then went back to Brother H's place on our service clothes. We had to first take the old alternator off the van and take it to Napa. When we picked up the new one, the pulley was not right, so we took both alternators to Brother P's shop and had the pulley switched. On the way back to Napa to drop off the old alternator, Brother H wanted to get lunch, so we went through drive-thru at McDonald's. After we dropped off the core, we went back and I installed the new alternator. Brother H was really grateful for my service, especially since he did not know how to fix it himself. Elder D did not know how to fix it either. I always love helping people out. I don't like it so much when there is something that someone could do for themselves, but they just let me do it. But I always get a good feeling when I do for someone something that they can't do for themselves. Most of the day ain't worth writing about because we did not catch many people at home. For dinner, the W family gave us Chinese, which we ate at the pad. After dinner, we talked to Brian and Stephanie for a little while and then spent the rest of the night trying in vain to catch people at home. Elder D irritates me with his pride, but one of the things that I like about him is that he is always speaking good of me and his other companions in front of others. I received another letter from Mom today. Saturday, the 23rd of October, 2004. Mostly clear and hot, but very light rain a few hours at times today, light wind. Elder D called people from former areas all morning, so we did not have companionship study. I just had 2 hours of personal study, and we went to the ward party at we went to the ward family at Hokina Beach at around 10. Only a few families showed up, so there was only 10 adults counting Elder D and I. When we left the activity, we went to Millie so that Elder D could say goodbye to Marty. We visited with him for about an hour, or maybe a little more, and then came back to our pad. On the way back, Elder D almost wrecked by driving way too fast on a wet road. I have told him before not to speed, so I just said, and that is why you don't drive fast on a wet road. He was going double the speed limit. He tried to make light of it and said something about him being a great driver because he was able to get out of a skid going so fast, and that he is such a great driver that it hurts. Yeah, it almost hurts real bad. I hope that he gets humbled big time and without hurting himself or anyone else. We met Brother H, who's 17 years old, at the church for a team-up. We only had him for 1 hour, and none of the people that we tried to visit were home. About the time that we dropped him off, I started to feel sick to my stomach. Elder D wanted to eat dinner at McDonald's. I was not sure if I could eat without chunking, so I only ate a yogurt, as though I thought it might help my stomach. We went to get gas, and the gas card did not work, so I had to pay for the gas with my support card. I hate the gas prices here. It's $2.59 per gallon. Ouch. The Hawaii gas prices were $2.59 per gallon, which is really high. Gas prices are higher than that here on the mainland now. I'd hate to see what gas prices are in Hawaii right now. Sunday, the 24th of October, 2004. Mostly clear, hot, light wind. This morning, just before PEC, Elder W called and told me that I will be training a 21-year-old missionary from Orem, Utah, named Elder H. What a strange name. I am not sure what to think about training, but it is not really a surprise because President told me before I left Wailumu that he might have me train on my last transfer. In PEC, I told everyone about who the new elder will be. After church, we had lunch with a K family, and they fed us steak and other mainland food. After lunch, we took pictures with the K family. I met Brother Ian, Brother H, and Brother K and rode with them to Brother S's house. The Elder D and I rode with Brother S to Millie. We were all going to Millie to have a sacrament meeting at Uncle Sam G's house. On the way back to Sam's, we stopped at Martin's house and talked story for a little while. Marty said that he has been praying for a long time that his house will sell, but he doesn't think that God is answering his prayers. I told him that if he had come to church, the Lord might help him sell his house. On the way to see Uncle Sam's house, we stopped by Brother Ian's, and he told us that the sacrament meeting had to be postponed until next week because of a funeral. On the way back to the S family's house, we stopped by to see a last-acting member that did not really want to talk to us so much, in fact, that she would not answer the door. When we came back to the S family, Brother Ian took us back to the church and we gave Brother H a ride home. We visited a few people, had dinner with the other S family, and then went to the pad so Elder D could call people from past areas. Monday, the 25th of October, 2004. Mostly clear, heavy rain in the evening, light wind. This morning I planned the week while Elder D packed his bags and talked about home. After we planned, we met the other elders at Brother P's shop and left our truck for service. Brother P is going to rotate the tires and align the front end for us for free. What a great guy. He will get blessing for it. We rode with Elder P and Elder Ian to the Ian family house in Kailua, where we met the zone leaders, Elder S and Elder L. We ate lunch and then played pool. I was not sure if it was okay or not, but since the zone leaders were doing it, I thought it was probably okay. We spent too much time there. We picked up the truck around 1500 and then visited a few families so that Elder D could say goodbye to them. At 1800, we went to the church for Word Family Home Evening. The bishop told me not to do dumb jokes to the new elders, like I like to ask how far the plane is, and when the answer is distance, tell him 2 years away. At family home evening, we stopped to see the Japanese girls. On the way home, Elder D almost wrecked. He is the worst driver with the most pride that I have ever seen. He still says that he is a super good driver. I almost wish he couldn't drive. I have driven a few times in this area, but mostly I let him drive because if I don't, he will cry about it all day, and I hate to hear people whine. At the Ward family home evening, I showed Don's letter to Sister Kay and her daughter, Jenny. They think that someone is trying to hook me up. That's what I thought, but I just wanted a second opinion. They said they were not sure if she was put up to it or did it on her own. Tuesday, the 26th of October, 2004. Clear most of the day, but it rained late in the day. Hot, light wind. I wrote Dawn. I wrote Mom a birthday card. And I wrote Aunt Rhonda. And a thank you card to Dr. M for doing a couple of the root canals for free. At 0800, we all, the whole zone except for the sisters, met at the Stick Center to play sports. First, everyone except me played basketball, and there was a lot of contention and name calling. After basketball, we all played volleyball. Then we went to the zone leader's house so they could cut Elder D's hair. Then we went to see the L family, and afterwards we went home. We spent the rest of the day trying to visit people, and then spent the night at Elder P and Elder N's bed. Wednesday, the 27th of October, 2004. Mostly clear, but it rained heavy after dark. Hot, light wind. Last night I tried to sleep on the couch, but it hurt my back so much. Finally, about 1, I gave up and slept on the floor. I woke up at 4 and could not go back to sleep. The alarm went off at 5. I really did not get any good sleep last night. We all went to the airport so Elder D and Elder P could fly. Elder D told me that he has learned a lot from me and would trust me with anything. I will kind of miss Elder D, and he sure changed in the MTC, and in the most part for the better. Elder S was waiting for his new companion, and I was waiting for Elder H, so we went on a team-up in my area for the day. I did not think that we would be in my area, so I did not plan anything, so the day was kind of less effective. The best thing that we did was to read the Book of Mormon with Carlton. Carlton told us that he had purposely been messing up because he felt like he was not good enough to change. I tried hard to help him out, so I hope I did. We will meet with him tomorrow at 10. We picked up our new companions at the airport, and then I dropped off Elder S and his companion at the zone leader's pad. Then Elder H and I went to the inn families for dinner. I shared the dinner message. After dinner, we came back to the pad. I got a letter from my older sister Jane. She has not written since I don't know when. I also received my training packet from the office. Thursday, the 28th of October, 2004. Clear, hot, light wind. This morning we were supposed to meet Carlton at 10, but he did not show up until almost 11. We talked to Carlton for a long time, and we even taught him a discussion before he watched the restoration video, which is what we originally planned on doing at the appointment. But Carlton had some questions, so he put it off until after all the questions were answered. Carlton told us that he purposely missed Elder D and I for the last 3 weeks and tried to forget what we taught him because it would make things easy, but try as he might, he could not forget. He knows what we taught is true and could not deny it. He even defended the church to one of his friends who was trying to convince him that it is not true. Carlton has an awesome testimony, and I know he will get baptized. Carlton said that the reason he does not want to get baptized yet is because he has problems with pornography and liquor, and he can't quit, or at least he thinks he can't. And he does not want to be a hypocrite, but wants to wait until after he knows he can keep the promise. Elder H did great today with Carlton and everyone else that we visited. He knows the doctrine and teaches it good. He will be a great missionary. The rest of the day until dinner, we visited all the investigators that we could catch. We had a 20-minute lunch break at McDonald's, and a little after 1400 we had dinner with the Inn family. Saw a few less actives and then quickly visited the C families before going home. Friday the 29th of October 2004. Clear, hot, light wind. It seems like only a short time ago that I was in my mission where Elder H is now, and that time I never thought I would beat train. I guess I was wrong. When my alarm went off, I did not wake up. I woke up by Elder H telling me that it was time to unlock the doors for seminary. I had a hard time staying awake even while trying to exercise. At 8 we went to the Cape farm to help out. We mostly just fed the trees to the chipper. While Brother K was telling us about safety, he mentioned about a man in Kailua who was not safe and got caught and accidentally fed himself through the chipper. Ouch. The chipper got clogged, so we had to shut it off and dig out all the chips. The bishop called us just after we got cleaned up, asked us to help Stephanie get tables and chairs from the church for her son's birthday party. So we hauled them to her house and had lunch at the K family, the K's Super J. We visited a lot of people and then even tracted today. While tracting, we taught a man the first discussion. The A family were busy and could not have us over for dinner, so they just had us come by and pick up our dinner, which we ate at the pad. After dinner, we visited a few active and less active families and ended the night with having a correlation with Brother H. I think that will be it for this episode. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to comment down below, and I will answer your questions either in the next episode or in the comments themselves. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next episode.